The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, because you can be watching this at any time of the day. It is your fave, Ryan D from Healthy Him and
Dwayne from the Networks program. What's good, y'all?
Okay, and you watching the Healthy Him show. Okay. And we just want to first thank Pyro Media Network for, producing us always so beautifully. APLA Health for giving us the jobs that we have. Okay. And CDC for bringing the Munty Hunty. Okay. Now, without further ado, how you feeling today, co-host?
I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good. So we were supposed to have a catchphrase, y'all. And I totally forgot we was gonna work that out today.
We had to do it today.
I wanted to do it today. I wanted to try her out.
Oh, you want to try it?
Yeah.
Since we live, we gotta might as well try it because you already mentioned it.
I mean,
so you want to try it again?
Yeah, you want to do it again?
Okay, rewind. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, because you can be watching this at any time of the day. It is your fave from Healthy Him, Ryan D, and
Dwayne from the Networks program, and whose show?
It's the dynamic duo.
We'll work on it, y'all.
Yes,
we're gonna work
it'll
on
be
it.
better next week, child.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But anyways, how are you feeling today, Carlos?
Goofy as hell.
I see.
But good.
That's good. That's good. I don't know. Today has been a day. It's been a weekend and it's been a day, but I'm getting ready for this The Weekend concert tonight. I mean, not tonight, this weekend. The weekend this weekend. Yeah. There we go. Mm-hmm. This weekend. The weekend this weekend. Mm-hmm. There we go. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
yeah, that's that.
Yeah, But without further ado, let's talk about what we do here.
Okay, so we do our HIV test, and we also do STD and STI testing. For those of you who don't know, it's like a quick little blood draw for syphilis. Okay, a little finger prick for the HIV. Okay, and then you pee in the cup, and then if you do anal, we swab your booty hole, and if you do vaginal things, I think they swab that too. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
I think you pee though. Still, you pee.
And then I was getting to it.
Okay, go.
And you pee in a cup. Mm-hmm. And they swab your mouth if you like putting things in your mouth, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is.
Okay. I'm gonna fix this mic a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, we also have linkage to care services and
for those who are what?
Who are HIV positive. Okay.
Correct. Why is all this important?
Because Ryan,
great question.
We work at Out Here Sexual Health, okay, and the people need to know about our services and where they can get them for low to no cost.
Yes. So this is also relative to the Healthy Him show. Healthy Him program focuses on Black MSM, men who have sex with men, ages 18 to 39, whether you are gay, bisexual, or just queer in general, all around. We focus on you, but it's a holistic approach, okay? We focus on mind, body, and soul, which is why we have groups. So our groups, one, we have today yoga because it got rescheduled, but usually it's on Mondays. But we have tonight yoga as well as usually hip hop.
But tonight we got to cancel that, y'all. We have to cancel it because your boy is on a panel, okay? Yes, look, I gotta do the things, okay?
I have to do this again, just in front of people.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yes, we have groups for individuals to focus on their mind, body, and soul. So with yoga, you're being active, you're doing things for your body, and you're not focusing on going out to have sex and fucking with Ron down the street who trying to fuck you raw and get you pregnant. Or, for the gays, we like to get pregnant. So, yeah, you're not worried about that. And then coming to BQT, we talk about the things that we go through, Black Queer Talks. We talk about love, sex, relationships, and all those things in between. But we're also talking about the things we've been through, traumas, and just dealing with things that we have encountered within sexual encounters and all those things. And yeah, hip hop, you getting loose and
yeah, we're releasing dopamine, we're releasing endorphins, we're releasing toxins in our body, kind of similar to yoga, but in a little more upbeat, like cardiovascular way, versus yoga is kind of just very calming, relaxing, focusing on the breath. This one's hip hop's more high energy, more fun. Yoga's fun too, but I feel like, it's just more energy in hip hop. There's more use of energy. There's more high energy, versus more of like a calming, centering, breathing situation.
Correct.
And then again, releasing the endorphins and the dopamine in your brain, because you can get that other outside of sexual activity, okay? If you didn't know, outside of masturbation, okay? Other things create that same feeling of release.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly. Mind, body, and soul, y'all. Yes. Remember, that should be the new catchphrase. Mind, body, and soul. Wow. Yeah. I like that. We'll think about it. We'll go back to it.
Yeah.
There we go. But yes, we also offer PrEP and PEP with all of our testing and conversations. So yes, you will get your HIV test, or if you already know your status, you can get linked into care. You can also get STI testing, as Dwayne said, a full panel. But now we are also soon to come offering monkeypox vaccines.
Yes.
Yes. We're gonna get more details soon for y'all. But we're trying to make sure everybody of color, especially MSM and transgender individuals, are getting the monkeypox vaccine. So we're making that a priority right now here at Out Here. Okay? And that's just that on that. If you want to get on PrEP as well, you can always call one of us or contact us by our emails or by our Instagrams, because we can just navigate you accordingly. Or you feel like you've been exposed to HIV, you will be put on PEP, which is essentially the medication that you would take after you feel like you've been exposed, but you only have 72 hours.
And then for those of you who aren't familiar with PEP, it's kind of similar to like Plan B or the morning after pill.
Yes.
So how it works is you go to a clinic as such, or the emergency room if any clinics are not available. You tell them that you feel like you may have been exposed to HIV, and they will prescribe you a 30-day supply. It's really 28 days, but it's 30 days, just to make it simple, of 2 pills, not just one.
Yeah, it's 2.
It is 2 pills that you will take for those consecutive days every day, and those so that you don't seroconvert, also known as acquire HIV.
Correct. And again, you only have 3 days to do that, or other things.
In Los Angeles County.
Los Angeles County, yes.
In other states,
it's lower, isn't it?
It's a little bit, it's like usually 2 days.
Yeah. Yikes. So yes, 72 hours if you feel like you've ever been exposed. And PrEP is, the plan. No, PEP is Plan B.
It's birth control. PEP is Plan B, yes. And PrEP is
birth control.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we say. The gay birth control is what I call it. But yes, that's essentially what it is.
Okay, that's cute.
It is, right? I love that. We got a little thing going on. But without further ado, let's get into today's topic. We gonna get into it. Sex work, anyone? Okay.
I like this.
So we're skipping what's popping today, because we're gonna get y'all that next week.
Yeah.
We've been busy.
Yeah, let me look this up though, because it's really creating a shadow on my face. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's gonna turn into like a little fisherman hat.
We gotta see. But yeah, we are talking about sex work, y'all. We are talking about black gay. Why did I blend it? Black gay sex workers out there, black gay male sex workers out there who are, just doing what they got to do to make their coin. I was waiting for it, because you love to do it. So yes, however they need to make it, whatever they do to need it, all the things.
Let's get into it. So what is a sex worker, and who qualifies as a sex worker? Well, what is sex work, and who qualifies as a sex worker?
So to me, sex work is essentially someone who does sexual things for work. It's plain and simple as what it is. But who qualifies is different. To me, there are variations. So you could have your home skillet, if y'all see Mercedes from P Valley. You know, she's a sex worker. She's a stripper. Okay, if y'all watch P Valley, they're all sex workers.
Or if you go to WeHo and you see the little naked men or the men with their little speedos and their little thongs and their little jocks, you know, that is sex work.
Go-go dancers, yes, they do qualify as well. Strippers and go-go dancers do qualify because you are selling the fantasy of your body and you're doing it in a sexual manner, essentially. So that is a form of sex work. Another one is
slinging that dick around.
Another one is if you are a patron of the streets. So that is my new term. Y'all can take it if y'all want to. I'll let y'all borrow it. So basically, I don't like the word prostitute. I don't like it. I feel like it has a negative connotation in society. So I came up with patron of the streets. So yes, if you are a patron of the streets and you make your coin how you need to make your coin, that is also those who qualify. Those who be on, is it Figueroa?
Yeah.
Or La Brea?
It's Figueroa.
Oh, I was right the first time. So yeah, Figueroa, and they just be doing what they do, and there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe make your coin. Period.
You know, the girls be on Western too.
They be whatever they need to be to get their money, and I have no problem with that. Okay, we are a safe space, and hello.
Just come to us and get your condoms and your lube and
period.
You know,
your testing,
all of that, and your testing. Okay.
Hello? Yes, and that's what we're gonna talk about. Why is it important being a sex worker and testing? But we're gonna get into that a little later. But as a whole, so we have the go-go dancers, we have the strippers,
the scrippers.
Yes, we have the patron of the streets. Anyone else? Can you think of anything else?
You know,
I mean,
the
like
OnlyFans girls.
I'm about to say camera girls. Yes, the camera girls. OnlyFans is sex work because you are still selling the fantasy and giving us the image.
Okay,
the imagery.
Ever seen like Jezebel on I think it's Netflix. Sex work.
I cannot.
You know, that was the early stages of OnlyFans. Okay, get into it.
But yeah, the camera girls, the ones who record themselves, you're still selling a fantasy, and you are essentially giving us imagery.
Ooh, phone sex operators.
That is yes, that is sex work. It is because you selling a fantasy. Verbally.
Like, oh yeah,
yeah. So OnlyFans, you're selling the fantasy visually, and it's like the imagery, but on the phone, you're selling it verbally.
Y'all.
You're like,
yeah,
how do you
feel about
that? You know, like that.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, right there. I hate you. But yes, that's another form. So we have the verbal, we have the physical, and we have the visual.
Yeah, the visual.
So we have the visual, the physical, and the verbal. So there's 3 different types.
And then actual like porn stars.
Yeah, that's a part of visual.
Yeah. But that's also sex work,
you know. We're gonna watch it, child. Okay. And then favorite porn star. That's a good question. Random.
I think my favorite, like right now or of all time.
All time.
I honestly, I honestly think it is between, because like, I don't know. I like.
You want to come back to the question?
No, I like a lot. I like a lot of like, even though I am not like a verse kind of guy, I still like a lot of verse sex videos.
Okay.
Like I like when they can like flip it up. Yeah. And with that being said, I like Rio and XL. Like those two, both of them.
You want to be so bad. Okay, Rio's not one of mine, but XL is my baby. And for those who know, you know. XL, it's XL and Remy Mars for me.
Oh, really?
Those are the ones that always get me right.
You know, Remy be doing his thing.
He do. That's verse of life, okay? So I live. But yes, very educational, especially the physical. Thank you, Ace. It is. Shout out to Ace, right? A healthy him ambassador, by the way.
And a network's PhD.
Okay, period.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's the main thing. So what are the risks of being a sex worker?
I mean, obviously STDs and STIs.
Yes.
For some. Stalkers. unsolicited touching, rubbing, feeling, people feeling entitled to your body, just to name a few. What about you? What do you like? What do you think?
I think those hit on the nose because I feel like, excuse me, I almost had a belch. I feel like you're gonna. If y'all seen the Players Club, I love the Players Club. Shout out to the '90s. Shout out to Lisa Ray McCoy. Love her down.
Okay, she's so cool.
She is.
She's so cool. I'm gonna see you at the next ball, girl.
How she was as Diamond when that guy was stalking her and followed her home, and guys was just thinking they could touch her, and even the freaking Ronnie tried to be all up on her because it was like, oh yeah, I own you. I want to own you and do. I was like, you don't have access to my body. No matter what I tell you or make you think you can do, you don't. You're not able to.
And that's just that on that. And that's how it should be. But people just don't. Like, when you do sex work, I think that's the other thing, too. Like, a lot of people lose, like, their respect for you, judging you based off of, like,
what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, like, I never understood that.
I didn't either.
Just because I'm a sex symbol don't mean I'm going to actually give you some sex. I might. But it don't mean that.
It's a lot of dangerous things that can happen while being a sex worker. And this world is just getting wilder and wilder. So I just feel like beyond your safety, also like physical safety, there's a lot of sexual safety as well. Like depending if you do drugs when you're working with your whoever, clients or whoever is watching you, et cetera, then there's the transmission of the STIs, potential STIs, or HIV. It just depends. Because you could have that one client to be like, I pay an extra $500 if you let me fuck you raw. Like, you know? And it's just like, whoa. Okay. Do I turn up this $500 or do I just let him do it and not know his status? Like, you need to know these things. Like, these are all important and crucial to not only your being, but your life in general. Like,
well, with that being said, do you feel like all sex workers should wear condoms?
By healthy him, I don't want to say laws, but APLA Health and Healthy Him laws, I would say they should. Oh. But at the same time, you don't have to. Like with OnlyFans, obviously you don't have to wear condoms because you're just selling a dream to those who watch.
Well, if they're like solo content creators, yeah.
That too.
But what about the ones who aren't solo content creators?
They thrive. I think there should be like a sit down, as we've heard Raheem Shabazz, who we all love, I'm sure.
He's gonna be on the show one day, y'all.
He is, y'all. We have a connect. Don't worry, he's coming soon. But I think how he has a whole thing where he makes sure everyone who's going to be on film that day has been tested thoroughly for both HIV and STIs before anything. And then they all come and they just have sex raw. It's easier for them to enjoy themselves and not have to worry about that extra barrier of a condom between them.
Well, there's like a lot of things that Raheem does, like that, you know, creates that sense of comfortability because he takes them out to like lunch and dinner too. Like they actually hang out. Yeah. Before he
smokes with them. He actually cares about his bottoms, and well, now he's a bottom, but
he's not a bottom.
He's not a bottom, but he's bottoming.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Get it right.
He's been bottoming.
Because we're not gonna disrespect people.
You're right. All right, here you go, Mr. Top. Who? All right. Anyways, yes, he bottoms sometimes now.
Right.
He's changing it up to give a new aesthetic.
Exactly. Because who said you only have to do one thing all the time?
That's true. You're right. You got it. Anyway, yes, it's very crucial though to know these things, and I feel like he does. He sits down and is like, okay, let's make sure everybody's good for the scene. Like. You good? We good? Cool. Now we can all have sex raw and just have fun. We ain't got to worry about the barrier of a condom. So in some instances, it's okay to wear a condom because it's like you need it, and I feel like you should be protecting yourself. But if it's in the instance that he does it, you're good. You don't have to because it's like we all tested. We good. How do you feel about it?
I feel like for me, if I was to be a porn star. Or an adult film entertainer, excuse me, because that's the other AKA.
Correct.
I probably would. I would just because it's like, well, I'm having sex for work, so I don't know how often I work, and as we know, when it comes to like STDs and STIs, they usually take about up to 2 weeks to show up.
That's true.
Anyway, whether it be HIV, gonorrhea, chlamydia. I mean, sometimes it shows up really fast. But you know, for the most part, it takes about 2 weeks. Syphilis, all that. So it's just like, okay, if I worked on Monday and then, you know, for example, since we were talking about him, Raheem hits me up on Friday and then we get tested on Monday. Although, yes, my record might come up as like, you know, negative for everything, there is still room and time for things to develop. So I feel like just for that reasoning of like, there could still be like something could still be brewing. Like I would just wear a condom all the time.
See, my thing is also STIs, in my opinion, they show up a lot faster. HIV is the one that really takes a minute to really show up. I feel like STIs, once you got something, that should be. And maybe other people are different, but some people, like when you get an STI, you get symptoms immediately or like within the next a day or two. Like, so then you know. And I just feel like we normalize that in the Black gay community. We normalize knowing like, well, they got an STI, but like if I get it, I can just go get cured.
Yeah, and that's
but HIV is not curable. So
well, and like,
that's what we take more seriously.
But that's the other thing too. If you keep getting chlamydia and you keep taking these antibiotics, eventually those antibiotics are not going to work, baby. Like if it's a consistent thing, like they, you know, the cells are smart. They get used to it. They get used to, you know, the antibiotics and things like that, and it might not go away completely, and then you'll have a bigger problem on your hands. Because all of these STDs and STIs are just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like I want to say like opportunistic, like basically getting another STI or another STD like kind of weakens in
your immune system in general.
Well, weakens your immune system, but it also leaves your system open for other opportunistic infections. That's what I was looking for. Bam, I got there. Okay, but yeah. So I don't think we should just because chlamydia and gonorrhea are curable that we should just negate syphilis, HIV. Even though syphilis is still curable, it's just like those things show up later. You know, so it's like I feel if I was an adult film entertainer, I would always protect myself, right, and use condoms and be on PrEP. And I just feel as well that sex workers should promote that, whether they use it or not, because who's to say, like, and that's the other thing with adult film entertainers as well as in even some of the strippers and go-go dancers, because, you know, some of them get a little extra tip for extra tip, okay? We don't ever see if they're on PrEP or if they took PEP right after the scene, or if somebody is undetectable. We don't know any of these things. We don't know people's status. We don't know. All we see is raw sex and be like, oh my God. Like, but who's to say that they're not protecting themselves in other ways? Like how you said Raheem gets people tested. They could also be on PrEP. You know, which is another form of protection, which is another layer, which is another like way of prevention, but also essentially having your cake and eat it too. If you don't want to use condoms, you don't have to use condoms, but like be on PrEP. Yeah, that part. You know, but PrEP does not prevent you from getting any STIs. That's what we have to clear in the community, because some people are still hazy about that. PrEP is only for HIV. So it's preventing you from getting HIV, but it's not preventing those STIs. So you can be on PrEP and still get chlamydia and gonorrhea and syphilis. And yeah, it's gonna happen. HPV, all of that. Hepatitis, like herpes. But I just feel like but as a whole, I would have to disagree. I would do the full thing like Raheem does and make sure everything's good. But I will also be on PrEP, so I agree with that portion. But I just feel like if you want to have fun, you want to have fun. Some people don't like condoms. And I think I said that in one of our episodes long ago, if y'all look back. Because we got over like 30-some episodes now. But I personally don't like condoms. I feel like they are a barrier within connecting with the person that you are trying to connect with in that way. So I rather just like be on PrEP and do what y'all need to do, you know what I'm saying? And just make sure y'all get tested together and y'all know what's going on. And honestly, if y'all are in a long-term committed monogamous, because that's the word people be missing, monogamous relationship. Because there are monogamous relationship content creators.
That part. I know a few.
Monogamous and open.
Yeah. But I know a few. And I'm sure they good. So,
they look good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But what's the difference between, you know, being an OnlyFans sex worker and being a patron of the street sex worker? Or, you know, A stripper, like you said. What's the difference?
I mean, you know,
and how regularly should you get tested with that? Because that's kind of like.
I mean, everybody, if you are sexually active and like highly sexually active, you should get tested at least once a month, minimum. Once a month. I think the difference in being an OnlyFans girly versus like a night dancer or a patron of the streets, as you have coined.
Yes, thank you. I do penny, nickel, dime, that ain't coined the phrase. Ha! Go ahead. You gotta quote the queen. Oh, shout out to her too. She got her Vanguard Award this past weekend.
That is not what we're talking about.
I know, but I had to shout out to her. Go ahead.
No, you didn't.
I did. You just such a hater. Go ahead.
We don't.
He's a little Kim stan, so that's why he do this. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You just got all the way off topic.
Go ahead.
Anyway.
You dragging it.
So with OnlyFans, you may not interact with other people, so there's no need to like, you know, get tested so regularly because you're only making content with yourself. Like people use a lot of toys. There's this one specific content creator that I am really like. He has great stuff, and it's always solo, but he be like verbal and shit. Stuff. I don't remember his name.
Oh, okay. So you can put people on.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. He ain't shoot me no coin.
That's fair. That is fair.
But yeah, you could be making content by yourself. The same thing with being a stripper. Like you're just dancing. I mean, some strippers do other stuff. If you do other stuff,
roulette.
That's okay.
You know.
But right. But for the most part, there are other parts of like sex work that do not require you to actually have sex or do not require you to be sexually active with another person.
Right.
And I feel like that's important. I feel like a lot of the times we miss that aspect. When you hear sex worker, you just be like, oh my God, a hoe. And it's just like, no. Or I have an OnlyFans. Oh my God. Send me the link. Like, you know, like.
Yeah, really, that's how it be too. I think, being a stripper just depends on what you do and what you partake in, essentially. That's all it is. I feel like OnlyFans, like you said, if it's a solo artist or solo creator, content creator, then that's a whole different story because you're only messing with yourself. You're solo sexual, and we talked about that like a week or two ago too. Like you're solo sexual, so you're not dealing with anybody else. You're not dealing with nobody else. You don't have to worry about catching STIs. You don't have to worry about, getting HIV because you're just solely yourself. Like that's it.
Now, you can still have some type of bacterial infection. But that comes from like maybe overusage of like silicone lubes or
not cleaning your toys.
Not cleaning your toys.
Clean your toys.
Yeah, like you're still susceptible to certain things.
Because bacteria grows no matter where it is.
Right.
Like it's just when you doing it from two different bodies, like one body to another, different fluids get crossed, and then it's like, all right, bacteria forms, and then that's when it becomes chlamydia or gonorrhea or whatever.
Or you use your toys with other people.
Oh yeah, and then I clean. Oof, I wouldn't. You know what? We don't judge. But yeah, I would say that. And a patron of the streets, I like that's different because that's a physical. That's the most physical of physical. Because with a stripper, it's just giving the fantasy of like, yeah, you think you can touch me, but you can't touch me really, unless you choose to do that. And then OnlyFans is like through video. So being a patron of the streets, I feel like physically, you are getting in people's cars or they're taking you wherever they take you, and they are doing whatever you are allowing them to do, and what you're agreeing to do. So I feel like with that difference comes with a lot of more susceptibility to a lot of different things. Yeah.
And it's just, it's so risky. And so like.
It is. Especially because it's technically still illegal.
Yeah.
So if you get caught, you go to jail.
Yeah.
So yeah. But if you don't, girl, do that thing then. Don't get caught.
Do both of them. Because there are some girls that, are patrons of the streets and, content creators.
Hello.
So hey, it's all in what fits like your needs and things and such.
So how often should you get tested? You said if you're actively having sex a lot, we said once a month. But if you're not so active, we say at least every 3 months.
Every 3 months.
Every 3 to 6 months. But I say 3 months because 6 months is a long time.
Okay, I do every 3 months.
Yeah, every 3 months, same.
And I don't even be having sex like that. I might start. So if you watching,
She's trying to get the people watching. Lord have mercy. But anyway, yes, if you are not so active, but you still are some type of active, I would say every 3 months. Okay. But if you are very, very active, like you getting it in every other day, like you doing your things, then I think what?
It was the slurping sound for me.
Oh, child. But anyway, I say once a month. Once a month is very crucial.
Yes.
And that's just that on that. But without further ado, we are about to get into a commercial break, and we'll be back after this brief intermission.
Are you in need of a quick and easy way to know your HIV status? Swab and Chill is a discreet way to learn your status in the comfort of your own home. The process gives you results in 20 minutes. Swab the upper gums, swab the lower gums, and voila! Simply follow the colorful step-by-step instructions located inside the kit. Or call APLA and we can assist you virtually. In addition, all kits include condoms and lube for that penetrative fun. For our trans clients, we have Swab and Chill Plus, a customizable kit for trans-specific needs. And we haven't forgotten about COVID either. All kits include personal protection gear, like face masks, comfortable yet stylish. A personal touch tool for dealing with those germ-infested handles and ATM keypads. Wet wipes for those little messes that need cleaning up. Also, keep that summer body protected with Swab and Chill sunscreen. And don't forget about our fanny packs for those quick trips to the store. All this can be yours. Simply call Swab and Chill at 323-329-9713 or email us at swabandchill@apla.org. We would love for you to be part of our Swab and Chill family.
Come swab and chill with us!
We had a brief intermission. As y'all just saw, we had a Swab and Chill commercial. Now, we did not mention Swab and Chill in the beginning, but I'm mentioning real quick right now. So, Swab and Chill, as you saw, is an at-home HIV testing kit that we sent to you with a bunch of goodies inside, as you saw Daniel talk about. And now it is run by our newest member. If you follow us on Healthy Him on Instagram, Dion. Dion Hill is now here, y'all. Okay. Shout out to my counterpart. I know you probably watching. You better be watching. But yeah, so he is hopefully watching. And he is now the overseer, the head honcho, as he says, of Swab and Chill. So if y'all ever want to, get a Swab and Chill box sent to you, just contact the number below or the email below. And we're going to update that soon to his information because I think it's still my information right now. But it's okay because I can get you the box as well. But without further ado, let's get back into what we're talking about.
All right. So if you are just tuning in, this is the Healthy Him Show. All right. And today we are talking about sex work, anyone. Okay. We are talking about Black queer sex workers, okay? The relevancy of knowing your status while you do so, whether you have an OnlyFans, a Scripper, a patron of the streets, and then some, okay? So let's get into it. Yeah. So, you know how OnlyFans and like Twitter, if you got one, okay?
Twitter be Twittering.
Twitter be doing the damn thing. Okay. But And with that being said, and with the excitement, obviously, as we have, do we feel like sex work is over glamorized or normalized too much? Like, is it become just like a regular job? Like, do we feel like that we've glamorized it so much and made it so accessible and so easy to do that it is just a rite of passage for some?
I actually feel like I want to open the floor to whoever's watching. If you are watching, please comment. Hopefully we see your comment in time enough so we can read it. But I'm going to start speaking on my opinion while you guys comment. But do you guys feel like it is glamorized, sex work is glamorized, or normalized too much?
If you're still there, you better...
I cannot. So, but I'm going to start with my response. And I would say I do feel like it is. I do feel like it is really normalized because we see so much on Twitter. Like, you could literally just go on Twitter just to tweet or look at a comment or whatever it may have happened in your mentions, and then you scroll just too far. It's like, oh, wow. Like,
I don't even have to scroll that far.
Oh, sweetie, I just see a lot. And the thing is, I don't even follow people. It'd be the people that I follow who retweet other people's things. And I'd be like, oh my God.
They be liking stuff too.
Yes, the likes be popping up. Them likes be popping up. Yo, I didn't know that until like a few months ago. I was like, oh, I gotta stop liking certain things. But so
LOL.
But I think it is because we see it and we glamorize. We're like, oh, they got a big dick. Like, ooh, like I think then everybody gets fetishized on wanting to find that black guy, that black gay guy who's gonna top us with this big old dick, or who's gonna let us suck his dick, like, you know, and just you know what I'm saying, like all of that. So I think it does glamorize in that way. I think we do kind of get in our heads as a fantasy. We try to buy a dream, essentially, or a fantasy of like, ooh, I'm gonna find me a guy just like that who has a big dick just like him, and we're gonna do it just like they did. He's gonna pick me up just like he did and throw me on the bed just like he did and just start mocking that bitch.
And that's another thing. Porn isn't real, and we'll talk about that in another episode.
That's a good one. That's a good one. How do you feel?
I feel like in the pandemic it was over glamorized, and I feel like it was normalized because there weren't a lot of jobs during the pandemic, and people felt like they had to do what they had to do because the bills didn't stop.
That part. That's where a lot of artists are coming out, content creators. I mean.
And so I think that was the start of it. Not the start of it, but the peak. You know, it definitely hit not even a peak, a spike. There was a spike in sex work over the pandemic because people were at home, they was horny, they couldn't really interact with people, and if they did, it was a risk. And so, you know, people had to do what they had to do. They had to get their jollies. And now I honestly just feel like I don't think it's glamorized. I do feel like it's normalized because it has taken over almost every social media platform.
Literally.
Except
Instagram. I don't see much on Instagram, do you?
Because Instagram be blocking it.
They do. Sometimes. If you're doing your OnlyFans, maybe not.
Dion says, yes, I think it is very normalized. Huey says, I feel sex work is regarded in the same way we regard sex itself in this country. Perverse, capitalistic, dirty, unholy, and socially taboo. Oh, child. Hey, well, run it down. I mean, that's my honest son. So, you know, hey, I asked him and he gave it to us. Yeah, well,
it's true.
It's true. A little bit, because that's why we have, like, you know, the certain fantasy ones where it's like, oh my God, like, I'm in attention. Or in the gym job. But I feel like it's not glamorized. I feel like it's normalized. And I feel that it's not as easy as people think it is.
That's true. That is true. I ain't gonna lie, I did look into it a long time ago.
I think. Well, I was an actual sex worker, but just not a content creator. Y'all can use your imaginations for whatever you want, but like I'm not gonna confirm what type of sex work it was, but just know. I had it all.
Well, I think everybody looked into OnlyFans, to be honest, but I personally was trying to like really be like looking into like kind of porn star, and I knew a famous porn star, still do. We're cool, but he indigenously, sex work is sacred and divine. Actually, many Egyptians, priests and priestess would engage in sex work for a divine experience, and I regard sex and sex workers in that way.
Okay, so he thinks that sex and sex workers are a divine experience. Okay. Okay. I can see that.
Yeah. It's something that is like not forbidden, but it's kind of like Like he said, taboo.
And I did not know that the Egyptians, priests and priestesses was giving shows. Okay. Thanks for that little education, Huey. Shout out to you.
We love that.
But how does drug use impact like these career choices, you think?
I think any inebriation can cloud judgment, as we all know, if you have done any drugs or have drank any type of alcohol. But yeah, as a whole, I would say it messes with your cloud of judgment. So sometimes you may feel like, I trust this person because they're giving me this, this Coke, and I'm gonna do this line real quick, and then we're gonna have sex. And before you know it, you do that line, they have sex with you, they fuck you, and then you don't get paid. Like, they make you think they left some money in your pocket, and you just sitting there like, I'm high as it, like, thinking you got your coin in your bag, and the whole time they just fucked you and dipped. And then it's like, oh, where my money at? Like, you can look real, yeah. But then it could be other instances where it's like, you are sharing needles, because we also have, they're also out there, needle programs, the exchange needle programs, where you can get clean needles and trade in your dirty ones, or not your dirty ones, I don't want to say dirty, but your used ones. Yes, there we go. Mm-hmm. Your used needles, and trade those in, and then essentially get new ones and use them. But I feel like if you're sharing needles, it's not good, because is another cause of HIV, is sharing needles and blood transfers and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's very crucial. I would say, yeah, honestly, it's just cloud of judgment. Even drinking, like, some people think they drink and get loose and get like turned, but it's like sometimes that can cloud your judgment and you just be over the place. Like, because I know me, when I get too inebriated, I be like, what happened? I don't know. Sunday, what happened? I don't know. I remember bits and pieces, literally. But go ahead.
Wow. Maybe we should talk about alcoholism.
We are
a little later,
yeah,
as well. But that was a good point that you made, as far as like, someone probably taking advantage of you, or skipping out before the coin. Yeah. For me, I was thinking more along the lines of like addiction. You need money to do drugs. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people, especially people who are addicted to certain activities, certain drugs, certain substances, they will turn to being a patron of the street to pay for their habits. And then it just turns into their life. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's one way I feel as though, like poppers, because poppers are still like...
Are they addictive?
They're drugs, though.
They are, but are they addictive?
No, but I don't do poppers. I really don't know. Okay. But
I never tried them.
I've never Googled the options. Okay, and did.
She's working at the pyramid tonight. Come on, Frank.
Shout out to Chris.
He knew what he was saying. He basically told us in the song. She's working at the pyramid tonight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Script. Mm-hmm. Oh wow! I wonder if he knew that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's why I said it. Sierra Leone.
Oh, well, he probably did. He probably did. Cool. Shout out to Frank. Come on. You thinking. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. Back to, this. Poppers. Yeah, like I was saying. Poppers are a popular drug that are used in, like, the content creation section of sex work. And nobody really blinks twice about them, because it's said that they're supposed to open you up, so that you're more relaxed and able to just take the dick, essentially.
Yeah, it's usually for bottoms, as they say.
But tops, I be seeing tops do it too. And
I think it's just like a thrill. Like, I see tops do it too, and I think it's like a thrill. Like, they just be like, oh, they get loose.
I mean, I've had my experience with hoppers, and it was definitely an experience, for sure.
Did it feel good?
You just feel like it's like
or what?
I don't know, like a light.
You floating?
Yeah, like a lightheadedness, like a little like it does really. I don't know why, but I felt like really calm. Huh. Even though it increases your heart rate, which is weird. Yeah. which is weird, but like in the moment, but I also do have a little wine. So I don't really know what it could have
You should
been.
not be mixing all of that, first off.
You know
But
what?
some people do the poppers, and if you do it, it's no problem. It's just make sure you're safe about it. Don't,
So
overdo it.
I think that's another thing too. Like that is another thing that is normalized or something that is a drug that we don't consider a drug.
Poppers is a drug. We do ask about that when
it's an inhalant, y'all. Like
it is.
And it's not good for you. It has the same effect. Well, not the same euphoric effect, but it does have the same effect on your heart rate as cocaine, crack, or any other substance like that.
And so does energy drinks, but we can get to that
Mars.
another day. Energy drinks do the same thing as well, but we can get to that another day. Because, I know the girls love a good Red Bull when they're out. They like to turn up, and it's like, sweetie, all of that is not good for you, but that's another episode for another day.
You know what? It all depends on, like, your health. That's why they always ask you, like, and why they put it on the label, ask your doctor before, drinking this.
Yeah. But the more and more you do something, the more and more your body's like,
I feel like the more everybody gets used to it, yeah, but I don't know about it. Like, are you saying it's an addictive thing?
It's not addictive. It can be, but it slowly like deteriorates, slowly but surely.
Deteriorates what?
Your body, your inside, like your health in general.
Oh,
Because
really?
your heart is currently always being like raised when you drink these Red Bulls, and then it's like, okay, I'm up. But then you have to always rely on that to be up, because a lot of people can't do that naturally. They can't like just be like, all right, I'm up. Let me just get this energy. Or eat this granola bar, or eat this. It's like, no, let me drink this addictive ass caffeine drink that's gonna rise my heart rate and low key cause damage to my kidneys.
Caffeine is good for you. It's
Kidneys
good for your
and
brain.
child. No, it's not. It's a drug.
Yes, caffeine is good for you. Look it up. It's good for memory,
It's
focus.
still a drug.
Caffeine?
Yeah,
Caffeine is not a drug.
it is.
Okay.
It is a drug.
So that we'll come back to y'all with that.
We will. Google it. Caffeine's a drug. Okay.
But yeah, are there any other drugs that are used in sex work that you've seen?
It's the sip for me. Child. I would say, I think we covered it. Poppers definitely crucial. I think coke for sure. Meth. One thing we should get into, crystal meth, because we do have a program here as well for those who do use crystal meth.
Party Wise!
Okay, it is called Party Wise. Okay, it is for those who are trying to get off. They literally have a program called Getting Off. But it's those who are trying to get off from doing crystal meth and who want to change their habits. Works as a muscle relaxer and increases blood flow, so it works for tops and bottoms.
You be coming with all the facts.
Okay,
I love it.
if you smoke hookah, it's similar to being lightheaded as such.
Oh, okay. So it's like a similar feeling as hookah.
Caffeine is totally used as a drug and alcohol.
It is used as a drug, but is not a drug.
It is a drug.
It's not. It's addictive, but it's not a drug.
We gonna Google it.
We will.
But yes. You say his name is Huey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's
Huey.
his chosen name.
Oh, Coogee?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think it said Bijan. Does that say Bijan or something else?
I don't know now.
Anyway. Well, Ace and Bijan, from what I saw, I believe, had great points. And yes, I also included hookah. Like, hookah is something that I feel like, not you do as sex work, but like, it's a huge drug that people don't realize like is really a drug. They think they just turn up out with their girls, and it's like y'all don't realize how much nicotine and everything is in those hookahs. And hookahs are honestly proved to be worse than cigarettes over time. So the effects of anyway, the hookah that you are inhaling, numerous commercials and scientists, if you want to look it up, have proved and said that hookah is worse than smoking a pack of cigarettes. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I just go off of what I read.
It's a lot worse.
It is, exactly. So I'm just like, it is what it is. But I don't do hookah personally, but I wouldn't include that in, drug impacts. But yes, coke, meth, like we said, crystal meth, very crucial. Those are the main ones I can think of. Anything you got? I think any like psychedelics. I feel like they're.
I've never seen a sex worker do psychedelics.
Yeah, that's
but
what
I
I'm
could,
saying.
not even psychedelics, just in general, any type of opioid or thing like that.
Even marijuana though. I don't think that's like. I don't think that's like a.
Oh no, they be smoking weed.
Yeah, but I don't think that's like addictive or like can affect anything.
Weed
I mean,
it's not
it can.
addictive. The tobacco blunt that you put it in is addictive.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's why we don't do those. But yeah, I don't think that impacts that at all, though. Marijuana.
What?
I don't think it impacts you at all in that career choice.
It also increases your heart rate. A lot of these things increase your heart rate.
Of course, a lot of things. No, I think marijuana slows down your heart rate. Really? Let's look that up. That one I can't confirm because I didn't read about it. So usually everything else I read about, but that I do not know. I'm not gonna put up facts that I haven't read about. Mm-hmm. But at least I can say from what I experienced, it be slowing down my heart rate. So I'd be kind of like, ooh.
I mean, it'll slow you down, but your heart rate, yeah, no.
Oh no, I'd be like, I'd be like, it's slowing down. I'd be like, y'all hear that? But anyway, that's what I'm saying right now. What advice would you give a Black gay man who is considering becoming a sex worker?
Make sure you're not doing it out of desperation or out of popularity. You know, you should want to do it because you want to do it, not because somebody else is doing it or because you are really like it's your last resort. Mm-hmm. You know, I think there are other last resort options but I'm not judging anybody who wants to do that. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying is just make sure that you want to do that type of work. And again, like even before you get into it, I would say give yourself maybe a month. Mm-hmm. A month to see if you really like that type of work, whether it be, you know, stripping or go-go dancing, OnlyFans, a patron of the streets, anything. Like, give yourself that trial period, try it out, see how you like it, and then go from there because, you know, everything that glitters is not gold.
Okay.
What about you? What advice would you give?
I kind of agree. I would say go for it. Get your money, okay? Like, what Beyonce say? She said, don't be stingy with my money, honey, or whatever the fuck. But as a whole, I feel like if you want to do it, do it. Just be safe about it, as Dwayne said. Make sure you are strategic about it. Make sure you have a plan on what you're going to do. And you got to think about multiple scenarios. Y'all, I think how I prepare a lot personally is because I think about multitude of scenarios.
Oh, you do?
I do. I'm an overthinker. I'm naturally an overthinker. So I'm always thinking about how anything could happen. So that's why you got to be like, let me think.
It don't look like that from the outside, but wow. Learned something new about you today.
Child. Anyway. But yeah, so if you are sitting here being a patron of the streets and you're like, let me go and do this on this street, you got to think about, okay, what if one of them is a cop? Like, how am I react to that situation? Or what if he don't pay me? Like, how am I react to the situation? First of all, baby, money up front. Always. Mm-hmm. And if they're not trying to agree to money up front, they don't need your services. Period. Or at least, if they don't give you the money to your hand up front, tell them to put it on the nightstand before y'all start doing what y'all doing and be like, look, that's neutral territory. You don't have it, I don't have it. There's no way, there's no disloyalty. It's over there, so when we're both finished, I can go get it and I can dip. Now, if they try something, make sure you have your weapons. Stay protected. Okay, make sure you're safe. Make sure you got your mace, your knife, your whatever. If you got that Glock, you got that Glock. Like, it's what it is. Whatever you need to do to keep yourself safe or feel safe, that's important. If you got your OnlyFans, a lot of people can start OnlyFans. Make sure you are strategic about how you do that as well, though. Make sure you're not just sitting up here charging people like $2 to see your content. Like, make yourself, get it up there, but also don't be like doing like, oh yeah, it's $45 for one video. Like,
I disagree. I disagree with that. If you want to charge $45 for your video, you better charge $45 for your video.
Okay, but if you're going to do that, make sure it's $45 worth of content. That's all I'm saying.
That don't matter.
Sweetie, if I'm
that don't matter. No. Look, because if you find, they're gonna pay for it regardless. Okay.
Sometimes.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just like if you wanna, that's the beauty in the whole like content creation world. It's just like you never really know what you're gonna get. But people are still gonna pay.
Sometimes, but sometimes people realize that people aren't going to be paid, especially if you're starting. We're talking about someone who's starting. If you're starting like that, it's going to be like, Now, if you find I get it, but at the same time, it has to be worth someone willing to pay for. And I just want to make sure if you're going to start that and try to make this a business endeavor, make sure you're being strategic about it. And me, I'm all about money, okay? So if I'm trying to get money and actually trying to make a business plan and doing that and going that route, I'm going to make sure that I'm being strategic about the whole thing. Like I'm actually thinking about how it's going to work. Like, is this going to work? Am I going to do this right? Because if you say $45 for this video and then I turn on the video and it's just you sitting there like rubbing your nipples the whole time, child, what am I doing? For what? I paid you $45 to watch what? I could have did that.
Well,
like
that's a personal problem,
sweetie.
Look, and that's what I'm saying. Like content creators, that's why a lot of people do it as well. Because it's just like you could put anything on there, okay, and they're not gonna know until it's too late.
No, you can easily unsubscribe. It checks every week, every month.
I mean, yeah, they can easily unsubscribe, but you already gave them the money the day you decided to subscribe.
It depends if they got trials. Some people put it on trials too.
Some people do, but I'm saying, for somebody starting out, and teasers are important. Don't give the whole thing away.
They are, yeah, because if you give it away, it's like a person can come off of one video,
right? And then
one teaser,
right? Shout out to Twitter.
Okay. But yeah, and then last but not least, I mentioned the patron of the streets, and now I mentioned OnlyFans. Last but not least, those who are night dancers. Okay, so if you are a night dancer, stripper, as Dwayne says, I feel like for them, if you're trying to do that or go dancer, also be strategic about that. Like, make sure you are at a facility that you feel comfortable with. Make sure you're not being fetishized, because that's not cute, especially as a Black gay man. Make sure you are in a space where it's like, okay, I feel comfortable. I'm okay. I can be myself and still feel sexy. And yeah, just don't have a bunch of creeps on you, because that's where you're a little different. Like, people think they have access to your body because you're naked to some degree, so they can just touch you, and it's like, no, that's not the case. You can give me this $1, but you're not about to fill up on me. So it just depends. But I say go for it, live your life, and just make sure you're being safe about it. Because, baby, that coin gonna stack up. Trust and believe. It always does.
And at the end of the day,
that should be fun.
Just always make sure that you're having fun. If you're not having fun, don't do it. Yeah,
because you're not having fun, the people who you're dealing with aren't gonna have fun. If you're not having fun on the pole or where you at dancing as a stripper, no one's gonna be like, oh, I wanna mess with them. I wanna like get them some money. I wanna tip them. If you're not having fun while you are being a patron of the streets and enjoying it to some degree, it's gonna be like, well, how I even get you to mess with? Like, you just sitting here just a pillow fluffer, like literally, and no one wants a pillow fluffer. Well, so yeah, and then OnlyFans, it's like that's your own content. You can decide.
That is an actual job, though.
What?
Being a fluffer.
Yeah, but like we also call it pillow princess.
So Huey says you pay $20 a month for Netflix and don't know who or what you're getting months to month. I say invest in creators you believe in, period. LO, aka stop funding these gay for pay straight scammers.
That is true as well.
Support QTPOC performers, period.
I know that's right. And that's that on that. Because I feel like at the end of the day, with OnlyFans, it's different because, especially if they're black artists, I know. Especially if they're Black artists, or Black content creators. But yeah, anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay, without further ado, we are done. And it's your fave duo saying bye.